Hello, everybody. Hope everyone had a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving or safe break, whatever the case may be. I'm going to talk to you guys about something I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time, and that is the whole MCU versus DCEU thing. Okay? First, I want to make this abundantly clear. I am not a fanboy. I know there's a lot of people that are fanboys and fangirls, but personally, I refuse to be one because they're mostly biased and blind. I am biased, but I'm not blind. For those who are new to my channel, I'm a huge comic book superhero fan in general. Okay, my two favorite superhero universes of all time are the Marvel and DC universes. I grew up loving both the Marvel and DC universes since I was a child. Um, and that was mostly through the cartoons, TV shows, and the movies. More so than the comics, but I have read many of their comics, and most of them that I've read are pretty freaking good. But we're here to talk about their cinematic universes and the rivalry among the fans that is between them. And personally, while I'm here to flat out say that the MCU as a whole is better than DCEU, the MCU isn't exactly perfect. It never has been. I mean, look, I love most of their movies. But let's face it, during the early years, they've struggled in making great villains. Not all their villains have been great. Some of them have sucked. It has been one of the major criticisms in the MCU for many years, and that's at times they have given us some really crappy villains. It's the truth, though. And I also didn't like that some things were rushed and underdeveloped, like the romance between Hulk and Black Widow in Age of Ultron. Like, what the hell? Like, when did her developing feelings for the Hulk come about? Like, when did this come about? Like, that was just so random. Just some things like that. I'm not going to mention everything. Now, I know the DCEU has been getting a lot of flack for being a bit too dark at times. Personally, I don't mind their movies being dark. But I do 100% agree that not all their movies have to be dark to be successful. I love Man of Steel. I think it's the best Superman movie we've had since the first two Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I didn't think it was really that dark. I thought it was a more grounded and humanized take on Superman, and to me that was perfect for the modern era. Yes, Batman v Superman was a very dark movie, which I didn't mind, although I will nitpick at the fact that I wish Superman was a bit more optimistic in that movie. But I can understand where Zack Snyder was coming from. He wanted Superman to go through a realistic character development arc, and I'm able to let that go because, I can understand that Zack Snyder really does respect the character of Superman, and he really does love the character, at least from my point of view. The problem with the DCU is Warner Brothers and their occasional fucking stupidity. That's the fact. It's not the actors and actresses. It's not the directors. It's not their villains. It's not their characters necessarily. It's Warner Brothers themselves. I'm personally happy as hell we're finally going to get the Snyder Cut, and even whether or not it sucks, which I doubt could be any worse than the Joss Whedon version. Don't get me started on that shit. But from what I've seen, it looks impressive to me. It looks good. Looks very good to me. I've always liked that. I mean, granted, I haven't seen all of his movies. I've seen a few of them, and from what I've watched, I liked. Especially Watchmen. That's like my favorite movie of his. To me, Watchmen, I think, is one of the most underrated comic book and superhero movies of all time. It's one of my top 3 favorites of all time when it comes to the comic book and superhero genre thing. Movie genre thing. I think this whole thing needs to stop. I think the fans need to realize something that one I'd say is better than the other, and while one has more flaws than the other, neither of them are perfect, and neither of them will be perfect. So, But I do have faith that that the MCU will continue to blossom and that the DCEU will continue to improve. As much as I like the Birds of Prey, to me it's not quite as strong nor good as Shazam. In my opinion, Shazam is not only the best entry in the DCAU, but the best DC Comics movie we've had in years. And don't get me wrong, I love Joker. Joaquin Phoenix was great as his version of the Joker. But to me, Shazam, in my opinion, is a better movie. That's just the way I feel. Um, you know, I want both, as I said before, I want both Marvel and DC to succeed with their cinematic universes. I don't want either of them to fail. I want, you know, I really want them to succeed. I really do. Even though the DCU is not quite up to par to the MCU, and even though I've been disappointed with two of their films, Suicide Squad and Jaws, Josstice League, I've been pretty much satisfied with the DCAU for the most part. So you can call me an idiot, but that's just the way I feel. I can definitely see that the DCU definitely has some things going their way and some things that are hurting them. But, and I understand that a good portion of their movies, that not all of their movies have been exactly acclaimed by the critics, but, you know, the critics are who they are. When the Star Wars initially came out in the 70s, they panned the fuck out of it. Yet millions and billions of people worldwide went to go see Star Wars, and ever since then, it's been one of the most beloved and iconic franchises of all time. So you can't really trust critics. First of all, you shouldn't really trust professional reviewers completely, because a lot of times they can be full of shit. So, when I give you guys my reviews, I'm giving you guys my honest opinion. I'm not working for anybody. I'm not trying to be a professional reviewer, nor am I trying to audition to be one. I'm just basically being my own dude, giving you guys my honest opinion. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. That's just the way I feel. Have a good day, everybody.